It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and this is a special family edition of Postcards from the Pandemic. I'm your host, Bruce Barber, and this is my co-host, John Joseph Broker.
I am back yet again. I've been allowed to a family event, so I'm very excited about this.
Now, Johnny was just pointing out he has a special way to introduce the Gill family. Johnny, take it away.
I will take it away. These are my very good friends, Justin and Amy Gill, who I've known for many, many years. From, Justin was a rugby guy at UConn. These guys started dating at UConn. But, I've normally kind of gone into what people do. And one of the things I really like about most of my friends is that I know where they work, but I don't really know what they do. You know what I mean? It drives me crazy when you meet people and they're like, what do you do immediately? Like, we need to know what you're all about and kind of sum up your worth. These people's worth to me is that they're great people. So what I'm going to do is just introduce them as Justin and Amy and let them introduce themselves a little bit.
I think that's perfect. Justin and Amy Gill and their lovely daughters as well. Welcome to Postcards from the Pandemic Family Edition. Yeah, you guys have got interesting jobs. So actually, Amy, you start with your job.
Oh, it's so strange. It feels almost surreal to talk about work right now because I'm grateful for every day that I still have my job these days. But I've been working for ESPN for the last, what time did I 13 years, I think. Am I 13 years? About 13 years. And in more recent history, we've evolved more into the broader Disney brand of network stuff. But my job's really neat, and I'm so grateful to have it in Connecticut of all places because I get to work with a whole bunch of really cool people from Disney on all of the affiliate content that they're selling all over the place. So I'm lucky, and I love my job, and I hope I still have it at the end of this.
And I should point out the interesting thing is you guys are huge Disney fans and always have been, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of that fandom maybe is.
We went to Disney once.
We did go to Disney World.
Yeah.
It's because of the fact that we've had such an amazing opportunity to go to Disney and take advantage of all the things it has to offer because of my job. So that's definitely made it easy to like, but I don't think that ever eroded at the brand for us when it came to the Disney content and the movies and the stuff that we're sharing with the kids now. I think that we'd be equally enthusiastic about it, but it's definitely awesome that we have that as part of our family, that the kids have been able to really do fun stuff that a lot of kids don't get to do because of the benefits of my job. So.
No, that's right. And Justin is, the only way I would say it, Johnny, is he's a computer man.
He's a tech guy.
Yeah, I'm just a software engineer. So I've worked at ESPN and NHL, and for the past couple of years, I've enjoyed working at C-Click Fix. And so
Civic Plus, I believe, right?
What's that?
Civic Plus or C-Click Fix?
Oh, yes. I'm a Civic Plus employee now because of the great success.
Yeah, and Johnny, so we wanted to. Johnny and I were talking about it. We decided we had to have you on because you guys are going through something that's so common that we're witnessing right now, and that is in the pandemic, you're home with the kids.
Postcards from parenting in the pandemic. It's a very
exactly.
Yeah. I just want to say one more thing about Justin in an introductory term, and I think a lot of people would refute this, but I believe this to be true. Justin is the world's biggest hockey fan. He knows more about hockey players, their backgrounds, and hockey teams.
Good point.
It's unbelievable.
Not on purpose. It's just my my hobby, my favorite thing. There was a point in my career where if you went online and checked the score of a hockey game, I probably built that scoreboard or a part of it. Because I built the ESPN one, which then TSN in Canada reused, and I built the NHL.com one. So yeah, I'm a big hockey guy.
Well, Justin always calls himself just a software guy, but he's really done some pretty cool stuff between C-Click Fix and all the back end of the NHL and the ESPN. But anyway.
Yeah, I've been lucky. I've found myself in positions with some talented folks on some pretty cool projects.
Yeah, and just talking about our connection, you know, we keep talking about the point of connection so much. It's obviously Johnny, but Rob Oliver also, Rob and Adrian Oliver. And kind of when I moved to the neighborhood we're living in now, the Olivers used to live in this neighborhood, and Justin and Amy, pre-kids, right? We'd all get together for these great dinners around the center island. And because I'm trying to remember, were you both commuting from the city, or was it just Justin?
Just. I've been in Bristol the whole time, so I'm
Okay, but you both are like great with choosing wine and charcuterie. So now it's interesting. Wine and charcuterie, Johnny, has been replaced by burgers and fries with the family.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why we're on the family episode of the pandemic.
sad but true. Yes.
So I think we should ask the startup question.
Yes. Thank you, Johnny. He keeps me on track, which is difficult. So what was your life, the Gill family's life like right before the pandemic hit, and what's it like now? How did it change?
It's hard, you know, even hanging out with you today, you know, we can't separate. So we're all in it together, and which is really, we're lucky, and we're working, and it's going well, but it's tough. We have two working parents and you know, children we have to teach and, you know, entertain and keep busy, and everyone else is going through the same problem. So, you know, we don't feel any different or special or anything. It's just very hard. You know, before we kind of had a routine, and now the routine is it's mayhem. It's chaos. It's absolutely organized chaos. I don't even know if it's organized chaos. Yeah, it's so hard now. It's so hard. So
Yeah, Amy,
the moment you realized like things were about to get weird.
I don't know. It's such a strange thing, you know, and I was just joking about this the other day, when they first sent us home, the day before they sent us home from work, they sent out a corporate memo that said, don't congregate or have any meetings in conference rooms. And it's like, oh, all right, well, you know, and we are all following the news. So we all kind of had some sense that, you know, something was about to shift, but I never thought we'd be home for 2+ months and counting with the kids and trying to juggle our jobs and what Amelia has to accomplish for school. And, you know, Caitlin's at such a pivotal point right now. She was supposed to start preschool because she's at daycare full time, but she was supposed to start, you know, preschool, where they start to get more curriculum based with the kids and helping them learn basic things, you know, like use the potty. There we go.
I'm thinking about actually going back to school for that. That was actually one of my fields of study back in the day. I'd like to say I was quite successful.
That's a huge milestone. As full-time working parents, we really embrace the fact that kids go to daycare, and we pay a premium to send them to daycare. And there's a lot of things that they get from their experience at daycare that we don't necessarily have time to do with them. And I wouldn't say we take it for granted, but, you know, that's not necessarily something we've honed our parenting skills at, because we've always had this premium daycare experience because of our full-time schedule. And so the kids come home with a giant leap forward with pottying and using utensils or drinking out of a cup, you know, things that we really didn't have to start from scratch with.
not anymore.
And Caitlin came home full-time right before all of that was really going to start. So that's been a really interesting thing. And it's funny because it feels like you kind of got a foot wedged in everything. You're trying to keep the house a tidy household. You're trying to keep work going and not slack off too much or come across as not being able to get all your stuff done. And then keeping the kids stimulated and motivated and not trying to murder each other. It's just a really bizarre, surreal experience so far. And
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from a lot of my.
We're going to be home this long.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from a lot of my friends is that the school portion, you know, you don't think about that. I think the first thing that comes to mind is just keeping them under control. But you're basically now homeschooling your kids, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean it's a little easiest for us because we have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. right?
You would think it would be
So,
easier.
you know, homeschooling a 9, 10, 11, that's different challenges, but it's still difficult. And, you know, like speaking of like daycare, I didn't think this pandemic actually started because we're still paying for daycare, which is a whole other weird thing that you have to do because you got to hold your spot and you got to.
Well, they need to retain all the staff,
Yeah.
and they can't do that if they don't pay them.
So that's weird. So everything's been up in the air, and it's not that.
Hey, let's ask the girls a question. Girls,
Yeah,
are you happy to be home with mommy and daddy all the time now? I bet you that's pretty great.
What's your favorite thing to do with it? What's your best part of your day?
Why don't you answer the question instead of.
This is our day in a nutshell. They have the attention span of fleas.
Amelia, what's the funnest thing you do during the day with mom and dad?
Stop doing that. So you can't be off camera right now.
We can edit
They
it.
are punching the water cooler, so it'll make bubbles and make that big blubbering bubble sound. And that's why they're not engaged in speaking with either of us, you or us at the moment.
Hey, I did bring up earlier, you know, it's an amazing coincidence is they're having burgers and fries at the Gill's house tonight. And we're having burgers here too.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, it's
The Wednesday meal.
it's tough. Yeah, see, like they've checked out now. And this is what it's like. It's just chaos. We were talking, everyone was sitting down, and within
You're becoming more patient as parents or less patient as parents?
less.
Less patient as parents?
This is what's just happened. They just spilled water on the floor, and they're purposely stamping their feet in it. And now the little one is using a hand towel, and rather than cleaning it, they're just smearing water all over.
Okay. I'd like to say you look amazingly calm for that. Like it's worth you.
You really do, yeah.
I know. I mean, we're on TV, right? So we're putting a good face on.
Yes, you're doing
I
that.
would be.
Look how frustrated I've been all day.
I guess, yeah. We're impatient and intolerant on some stuff, and some stuff where it's just craziness of being, you know.
Let me say this.
In the category of harmless but annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, we were just joking. Like at the end
Look
of
at
all this, we
the
should
last
sign
thing.
some kind of
The
MOU.
last thing I want to do is to be the empty nester that's enjoying the chaos in your house. But oh boy.
Yeah, it is a little, you know, I
It's
have to
nuts.
take care of myself, and I'm doing terribly at that. I can't imagine.
So let me ask you this.
A big meeting,
All
you know,
the-
with my boss, and I'm trying to talk about complicated things, and they just came in like gangbusters. And at this point, I'm not even embarrassed to care anymore. I'm just like, yeah, you know.
I was asking, we've been doing some good Zoom happy hours with Justin, and Amy jumps in, and the kids will get in there sometimes. But I asked you this the other night, Justin. I was like, hey, why don't you just teach the girls how to do like software architecture? Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
fun? You know?
No, you would think, right? 'Cause that's what I do, and like I can't get I can't get the attention for more than 2 minutes. It's like
Really, they don't pay attention?
it's like hanging out with like drunk people. It's just you know, it's like once you go to see him to teach the drunkest guy how to code, right? And then be like, what happened? That guy's not a good coder. It's the same thing.
I'm just realizing this is not that much different than what those dinners were like at the Oliver house, except there were no kids there.
Yeah, I think around midnight, this is sort of what it was like. Let me ask you a question about like general parenting. You know, you guys are 2 parents, 2 kids, and you're going to understand clearly that I really only understand sports. But, you know, you kind of playing man-on-man defense, so each of you got one to cover. Are you hearing from other parents who have to play like zone defense with like a whole bunch of kids roaming around the house? What's the basic temperature out there for people you're talking to?
So we're new parents. So their parents have been doing it a lot longer and a lot better than we are. So we're still getting better. But what you're saying is you take one, I'll take the other. It's really dependent on the kids.
Yeah.
You know, I could be like, Amelia, you come with me, and she's like, no. And so
Yeah, I was gonna say on paper that sounds like a great
just like,
idea,
all right, you know.
but that's never what happens.
Really? Because I was picturing Oliver's, there's like 2 parents, 3 kids, so one kid is always open. You know what I mean? Like somebody's up to mischief somewhere.
Yeah, well,
I think
you know,
that's
the
a
way
lot
it
of
works
credit. I
in,
think they have an advantage over us though, because they both come from large families. Like they both have lots of siblings, and I say lots compared to two, but like we're both only children. And we waited till we were in our 40s to start having young children. So we're in a, I don't know, in a different.
We're learning. We're learning. Like there's nothing. Everything's new to us. Literally.
I was going to say that in our house, Karen is playing man-to-man defense because it's just her, one adult, and me, one kid. And that seems to work out all right for her.
Yeah, it's working out well. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah, it's hard. You know, and what is popular today is not popular tomorrow. So, you know, we're riding bikes right now and we're loving it, and it's going
On 2 wheels.
on 2 wheels.
2 wheels.
2-wheel
That's
bike,
awesome.
as opposed to the 3-wheel bike, I suppose. Yeah.
To the
Or
tattoo
4-wheel.
on the no hay wheel.
Yeah.
Right?
Those kids are adorable.
This is
Yeah.
They are adorable.
They're cute. Except what they do is they fight constantly.
Fight.
Yeah.
Like Amy was saying, she was going to say, like, when we roll out of this pandemic, we're going straight into MMA or Kung Fu.
Full contact.
Some full contact.
Do they have hockey gloves yet? Do they drop them and square up?
Hey, if I give them
That's
hockey
the
sticks,
joke we make,
they would
though.
chase after one of the sticks.
Oh, it's just fun.
Oh, yeah, catch
Amelia, who's your favorite hockey team?
Bruins, of course.
Just kidding.
Duh.
I agree with Dad on that one. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love also the way they're wielding that squirt bottle too.
Oh my gosh.
These guys, they are, I mean,
They're not usually allowed to have it themselves, but because we're preoccupied, they've been allowed
we're
to.
putting on our best faces now. We're like, that's
It's postcards from the pandemic. Anything goes.
Hey,
Uh,
yeah.
So the way we like to conclude our conversations is with a very important question.
Okay.
And that is, how's the glass half full? What's the silver lining of the pandemic?
That's a good question. I think I feel like it's easy to fall on the half empty side, but I think on the half full side, for us especially, with Caitlin, because she's the younger of the two, she's at such a huge developmental moment right now, and she's got delayed speech, and she's had a lot of, she doesn't want to use the potty. She's just had a lot of things that Amelia picked up right away that she was behind on at daycare, and since we've been home, we've been able to be a part of that a little bit more, and it's bittersweet because on one end it's very stressful and I feel like we're not good at it, but on the other end we're seeing some of these things that she would be doing when we weren't around, because she's there 8 hours a day.
Now she's with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And her speech is coming along. This has actually been a glass half full thing. So her speech, she's very expressive now in the way she's learning to speak. So her new favorite thing to do, if she's doing something and we stop her or we interrupt her, she says, "Hey!"
Yeah.
Hey now.
It's just hysterical.
Hey now.
And it's new. And that's one thing we never would have, that never would have happened, at least not right now, if we weren't doing this all day, every day. So
It's been, that's the silver lining, spending time with the girls, for sure.
And Justin, let me field it for you. Your glass half full, your silver lining is that I just got an email today, and New England Brewing has got fuzzy baby ducks by the case starting later in the week. So, there's that.
Now you
Use
know.
that. New England's my favorite, yeah. So I'll go down, I'll get some fuzzy ducks, and I'll drink some, I'll trade some for some other stuff, yeah. But yeah, no, thanks for having us on. But that's I wish we were full of jokes and crazy stories, but the reality is it's just a crazy life. I don't know, it's just nuts.
Oh no, trust me, you brought plenty to the table.
It's there.
I would have to characterize. This was one of my favorite episodes. Johnny, don't you agree?
You haven't even edited this, and this is going to be one of the best. This is incredible.
Totally. So, cheers Enjoy the burger night. Yes, the night, Johnny. Yeah.
That's awesome, Johnny. I don't know where you got that.
I have a Nighthawk.
I'm
I have a
jealous.
koozie. I don't have a Nighthawk style.
No, you have a Beast of New Haven.
Oh yeah, the Beast of New Haven. Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny. What's the provenance on that?
Well, that's somebody owns the rights to the Nighthawks logo and name. We met them, Bruce, and they started Nighthawks Brewing. So there's actually a couple of beers out there made out of, I think, beer racks in East Haven.
That's right. We ran into those guys at New West.
They created a bubble hockey game of the Nighthawks versus the Blades. It was pretty cool.
That is really, yeah, look at that.
That's awesome.
I remember I talked to you guys a day or two after you did that, and you told me, yeah. I remember that.
And so we have to conclude with a shout out to Johnny and the two Michelles and the whole gang at New West. We miss you.
Yes.
We miss everybody.
Butcher, we miss you.
But let me tell you what my glass half full is, as long as we're seeing Justin and Amy here, that, you guys are busy parents, as we have witnessed. And the interesting thing, I said this to Justin and Amy the other night, that I feel like I'm seeing you guys more during the pandemic when we're doing our Zoom happy hours than I did in the normal times.
Definitely. It's been the Zoom happy hour, especially for I have young kids. It's easy for me. So, it's hard sometimes to get out and go to the New West or go.
You're also a borderline like agoraphobic person.
Yeah, it also fits my personality type.
I will say I'm the same way. I was just telling Karen the other night, I was built for the pandemic because I like to stay home. I love to wash my hands, and I'll clean anything that doesn't move. All right, guys, cheers. What a great family episode of Postcards from the Pandemic.
Because I'm realizing it's way too quiet, and I'm going to go see what's going on upstairs.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.